Hello, and welcome to the Z Hut. Today, we're going to take a look at alternate lines for your weed whack. Now, say you're out doing your lawn work, you finished mowing the lawn, you're doing your weed whacking, weed whipping, whatever you want to call it, and you're 90% done, string breaks, you go to tap it, you run out of line. You go in your garage, you're out of line. You want to finish this up, not have to run to the local hardware store or wherever, just finish it up now. Well, today we're going to take a look. I have 5 items here that we're going to try out. One of them I know for sure works, for sure, and I have actually used it. And then I've got 4 others that we're going to try out that I've never done. It's going to be completely live. I've never tried them. I don't know what's going to happen, and we're going to see. But what we're going to do is first we're going to try some welding wire, and this is for a Mig Wire. This is just a thin, solid welding wire. We'll try that out. It might work, might not. Then I've got some plastic coated solid core, copper solid core wire. This is actually from like garage doors or small speaker systems. Just some cheap wire. We're going to see how that holds up and works. Then I've got some stranded thicker gauge, and this is speaker wire, and this is also plastic coated. We're going to give that a try and see what happens. Then I have some solid core copper, and the plastic's been stripped. This is out of like the electrical cables that they run in the walls in your house. This is out of that, and we're going to give that a try and see how that holds up on a weed whack. And then finally, what we're going to do is we're going to use the cable ties, or more commonly known, zip ties. So, alright. Now, you can use these on either a gas, like I've got here, or an electric, like I've got here. I'm going to use, do the demonstration on the electric, because I haven't tried some of these, and I don't really give a crap about this thing. This is just a piece of junk I picked up at a garage sale for $1. And on top of that, I'm still waiting for some fuel line and stuff for this. It's temporarily not working. But alright, so I'm going to cut a piece of this welding wire and hook it up on the electric weed whip there. So I'll catch you back in just a moment, and I'll bring the camera in down by some weeds, and we'll see what happens when we run this and how long it lasts. So I'll catch you there in just a moment. Alright, I got that welding wire mounted on the electric weed whip, and this is actually stainless steel Mig Wire. I'm sure others would work just as well, but let's find out what happens. As you can see, I just put it through, twisted it a couple times, and then cut them so that they clear the shield in the back. And also make sure you wear eye protection when you do this. I forgot to mention that before. If you try any of these, please do so at your own risk. The Z Hut's not liable. And please wear eye protection, and boots would help too. Don't do this barefoot. Alright, well, let's see what happens when we use this Mig Wire, welding wire, on the weed whacker. And, well, let's just see what the heck happens. Wow, I've used this before, and it's never cut that good. And this wire, there's nothing. It ain't worn one bit. Wow. The only drawback to this is you're probably not want to go around trees and shrubs, stuff like that, because that's one of the big benefits of that plastic weed whip line. If you hit your tree, it's not going to dig into it. This is going to act like a saw blade. Same thing up alongside your house, but if you're edging along rocks or just edging up next to some tall grass, this would probably work fine. I am kind of impressed on how good that worked. I'm really impressed. And this is just stainless steel Mig welding wire. I'm sure your standard would work as well. The only nice thing about this, because it's stainless steel, it's not going to rust. But, alright, well, let's move on. And so far, well, this is the first, but this is awesome. But let's move on to the speaker wire, the garage door solid core, plastic coated, and see how that does. So let me throw that on here, and I'll catch you back in just a second, and we'll try weed whipping some more and see how it works. Alright, I have attached the solid core plastic coated speaker wire, garage door wire. There's lots of different uses for this, but it's a thin gauge copper wire that's plastic coated. See, I got her all ready to go. So let's see what she does. I moved the camera over so we're into some fresh tall grass, and well, let's just try it out. Now, definitely not as good as the last one. Look at that. They're gone. They're gone. Both of them are gone. They just busted right off away they went. And when we started, they didn't even cut very good. Well, that throws them out. And I'm kind of guessing the thicker gauge speaker wire is probably going to do the same thing. Well, let's move on. Let's skip that thick gauge speaker wire because I'm almost positive it's going to do the same thing. Let's try out the solid core copper wire, but it's a lot thicker. It's like what you'd get out of your house. Let's see what that does. So let me rig that up on here, and I'll catch you back in just a moment. Alright, I got it all set up here. I've got the copper wire stuck on, and this is the copper house wire. And I've got a feeling this is going to probably work somewhat similar to the MIG welding wire, but we'll find out in a moment here. So, heck, instead of waiting, well, we just find out right now. Alright, I'm going to stop right there and check. You know, it's not wearing out quick, but it is not cutting anything. That stainless steel MIG welding wire is definitely the best so far. I mean, this does work. And that's one of the things this video is about. If you're in a bind and you just want to finish up. If you don't have MIG wire, this one I definitely recommend trying because it seems to work. Well, let's hit it again real quick. And well, I would have to guess if you're using this on a gas-powered weed trimmer, weed whip, whatever you prefer to call it, it would probably work a little better. But, well, this ain't too bad. At this point, I'm gonna classify this as the second in the list as the best. So far, the MIG wire is the best. So, Next, what we're going to try are the cable ties, the zip ties. And I have actually used them in the past, and they work real awesome. And I'm going to move over to some taller grass because they work really good in that. So let me cut these off of here and set that up, and I'll catch you back in just a moment. Alright, I got her set up here, and as you can see, I got 2 zip ties, and well, that's one of these right here, one of these cable ties, but most people know them as zip ties. And I just put them around where the line would normally go through and zip them up and then cut them so that they just clear the shield that's in the back here. And I have tried this before with my gas trimmer, and it works awesome. All the other things that we've tried so far today, I have never tried before. But I am assuming they will work just as well with the gas trimmer. Well, I guess the only one that really worked really good was the Mig Wire. So I'm assuming that'll work, but just remember, if you're going to try any of these, please do so at your own risk. The Z-Hut here, we're not responsible for any injuries, damage, or anything that happens. Sorry, got to give you a disclaimer, but alright, well, let's go ahead and see this in action. Wow. The MIG welder line worked pretty good, but did you just see how fast I whipped all that? This is actually working pretty good. I think one of the reasons is because it's so thin on the one side. It's kind of like sharp, but it works good. And this is the one I recommend the most. If you run out of weed trimmer line, just take 2 zip ties, put it on there, finish your stuff up. I wouldn't recommend using them all the time. But like I said at the beginning of this video, you know, you just finish mowing your yard and you're doing your weed trimming. You run out of line. You only got a few things left to do. This will work pretty decently. And because it's plastic, it's got to be somewhat similar to what the weed whip line's made out of. I'm not sure exactly what either of them are made out of, but because it's plastic, it's at least somewhat similar. So, alright. Well, I hope you found this information useful. If you did, please give me a thumbs up. I'd appreciate it big time. Well, with that, I guess I'll just say thank you for joining us here at the Z-Hut. Have a great day, and have fun weed whipping your lawn.